Hi everyone. So I wanted to do a little neck and shoulder stretch today. So that's what we're going to focus on. A little bit shorter routine, but we will be moving a bit. You will need a blanket. So do grab one of those. Start with it nice and folded small. We're going to use it a couple of times. So do have a blanket available for you. But let's begin. We're going to start in child's pose. So finding your way to your mat. Big toes together, knees as wide as it's comfortable for you. And then just leaning forward out over your thighs. You can reach your arms out long or wrap them around your body, whatever feels most comfortable from here. Take a deep breath. Instead of breathing into our belly like we've typically done, we're going to breathe into our backs right now. The space specifically where your kidneys reside, which is right between your hip points and your rib points on the back. So focus your breath there, reaching your head towards the ground, grabbing a block or blanket if it doesn't quite make it, and breathe. Two more nice deep breaths. If you have your arms wrapped around your body, bring them up front, engaging your hands, walking up a little bit so you can grow tall. We're going to lift our left arm up, get a little baby twist in here, and then thread the needle, thread that left arm under the right armpit, in between the arm and the knees, laying your head down, laying the shoulder down. You can have your bum up a little higher if that's comfortable for you. For me, I like it lower. Doing what's good here and settling. This top arm, you can reach it out and long, or you can wrap it around, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Taking some breaths. You should be feeling a pull along the back side of your shoulder blade, maybe down your biceps though, so just kind of keep that in mind. Biceps or triceps, either one. But take some deep breaths here, allowing our shoulder, allowing our back a moment to loosen and to relax. All right, from here, putting some pressure back in that right hand, lifting the left arm up again for a little baby twist, and then planting the left hand on the ground, repeating, lifting the right arm up, little baby twist, and then thread that right arm through, landing on your right shoulder and side of the head. This is the area where I feel it, that shoulder blade region. I sometimes feel it a little bit through here, but mostly it's my shoulder blade. So landing down, taking a few deep breaths there. And then again, put some pressure into your left hand, lifting that right arm up long for a little baby twist, and then bringing it back down to the mat. Now walk your hands back, coming up onto your knees, growing tall here. I'm going to turn so you can see me. We're going to sit here in hero's pose. If this isn't comfortable, if you have that blanket or a block, you can put it right between your heels, sitting your bum on that. Or you can also just widen your heels coming down wherever it's most comfortable. I'm going to stay here today. Let's do a few neck stretches. So to start, Let's just lift our chin up, looking tall. On an inhale, exhale, dropping chin to chest. Flow through. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale back to center. And now let's look over our shoulder. So inhale, turning over towards the right shoulder. Exhale, center. Inhale, left shoulder. Exhale, center. One more time. Inhale, right shoulder. Exhale, center. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's exhale our chin to our chest. And just do some little half circles. Rolling the neck from side to side. If you find any spot that's tight, maybe hang out there for a second, giving it a little extra love. And then again, start your movement back. Searching for any other spot that needs the love. When you're finished, exhale your chin back to your chest and then inhale it up, growing tall in your spine. We're now going to come into table pose. So, knees right under your hips, wrist and hands right under your shoulder. Great job. Engaging that belly, no letting it drop. Engage it up. And let's come in some cat-cow. So on an inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, round, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin, and then flow through. Cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, and then exhale, cat. And then inhale back towards center. We're going to step our hands out a little bit. We're going to come into some hip circles. So stepping your hands out as wide as you need, and then settling back on an exhale. Inhale, coming over towards one side, circling forward. Exhale, the other side and back. Repeating that a couple of times. You are going to hear my knees pop. Maybe your knees get a little Rice Krispie action going on. That is normal. As long as it doesn't hurt, that's okay. And then on your next exhale, settling back, switching sides. You gotta circle both ways. Balance is good. So always coming back the other way. Ooh, there's a knee pop. And then your next exhale, settling back for a second. Taking a breath in child's pose. Now let's come into dolphin. We have a couple of arm options for dolphin. You can interlace your hands, making a nice little triangle, or you can place your hands flat, like in Sphinx pose on the ground, doing whatever one feels comfortable for you. For me, interlacing is a little bit more solid. So I'm going to interlace, and then we're going to come back towards a table position, tuck our toes under, lift the hips up, reach back, dolphin pose. Very similar to down dog. Walk it out a little bit in your knees. Getting a good stretch. If you need to take a step in, you can do that. Bend the knees nice and deep so you can really push through your shoulders, sending your chest back towards your thighs. Woo! Nice strong pose. This is building a little strength in our shoulders as well as giving them a stretch, so it's a nice pose to do. On your next exhale, lowering back to the mat, coming back to child's pose, taking a breath here. Now we're going to come into rabbit. So wrapping our arms back around our body, grabbing onto our heels, or again the calves if that feels a little bit more comfortable. You're going to keep your head on the ground. So you're going to keep your head on the ground and then roll up, lifting your booty so that way you're rolling onto the crown of your head. It's going to look like this. We're going to take a couple breaths there. So find your rabbit. this should be a nice stretch for you. Again, broadening across the back, maybe getting a little pull along the shoulder blades, maybe a little pull on the neck. It should feel comfortable, not painful. If it does feel painful, roll back down, come into child's pose. If this feels good, let's take another big breath here. And on an exhale, rolling back towards child's pose. Great job. Let's bring our hands out in front now. We're going to engage them, giving a nice claw to the hands, pushing into that meaty area between the thumb and pointer finger so we can lift up coming into down dog. Walking it out here, taking a few deep breaths. And then on an inhale, step, walk, or hop up to a forward fold. Exhale, folding. Breathing deeply here for just a second, allowing our legs to get a nice stretch. Even though they're not the focus today, they should get a good stretch, right? On an inhale, lift halfway up, growing long in our spine, engaging the belly in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, big reverse swan dive, coming all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, great job. We're going to inhale up, growing long and tall. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale, bending our knees, planting our hands, stepping back towards plank. Let's drop our knees here. We're going to grab our blanket. This is the first place we need our blanket. We're going to set it on the back of our head and do just a few little yogi push-ups. You can have your knees down, or you can come into full plank, whatever feels most comfortable for you. I'm going to stay with knees down today, but we're just going to lower down to half chaturanga and push up. The blanket is here to be sure we don't tuck our chin. That's a big habit a lot of us have, tucking the chin, rounding the shoulders. This helps push back, little biofeedback, our head into the blanket so that way we're not tucking and rounding. Great job, everyone. One more. And back up. And on this one, let's lower all the way to the ground. Woo! Take that blanket off. Let's come into yogi vacation. Make a little pillow for your head. Lift the legs up. And then just sway them side to side. Windshield wiper. Woohoo! This is a great release for the low back. If you're ever on your belly and need a little release, this is the way to do it. Alrighty, bringing our feet back to the ground. Let's come into Sphinx pose. So we're going to plant our elbows onto the mat, lifting up. Hands can be flat and firmly engaged. Lifting up for a little back bend here. Broadening across our collarbone. You can lift the chin up a little bit if that feels good. But one thing we're going to do here is actually engage the low belly and practice that a little bit. So we're going to engage it, lift it up a little bit, and then sink it back down. Broadening again. See if we can keep that broadness when we engage now. Ooh, that's really hard, huh? And then lower it back down. Couple more times. Inhale, engage the low belly, tuck the tail, lower back down. One more. Engage the belly, tuck the tail, and then exhale, lower down. Great job. Whew, our ab workout for today. Next, settle yourself down onto the mat. Bring your arms out in a T. We're going to come into scorpion. If this feels too intense, stop. I'll show you one in just a second on the wall that you can do as well. So settle down. What we're going to do is we're going to plant. Let's say I'm going to drag this right arm back a little bit so it's closer towards my chest. And then I'm going to roll my right hip back, planting the foot down. You are going to feel a very intense stretch along your left pectoral, along the left front shoulder, and again, I get the biceps here a whole lot. You can keep your head down, you can place it on a block or a blanket if you need a little support there. But this is a scorpion pose, so that's one option. Again, if this feels too intense for you, come on out. Really quickly, you can come up to a wall. I actually have this great dresser right here. Just turn towards the dresser and then turn your body away. You're gonna get the same stretch. You're just not gonna have your full body weight on that shoulder. Again, you can use a wall, just turn towards the wall and then step away from the wall, turning your body. All right, coming back into a scorpion, if that feels good for you. Awesome. Taking a couple deep breaths here. And then releasing, switching sides, whether or not you're at the wall or on the ground, extending the right arm long, bringing the left arm towards the chest, and then rolling the left leg up and over, planting the foot, staying here for a couple breaths. Whenever you're done, you can roll back out of that, taking another yoga vacation. That feels good for you. Taking some deep breaths here. Alrighty, then we're going to engage our toes on the mat. No, it's kind of hard to see them. We scooch up. So engage our toes so our feet are nice and flexed. Bring our hands towards our low ribs, towards our chest. And then again, keeping the knees on the ground, lifting the belly, engaging it towards the spine. Lifting back up through downward push-up. And then child's pose, taking a couple breaths here. Engage through your hands again, making nice little claws, engaging down through the meaty part between your pointer and thumb, lifting up, tucking the toes, coming into down dog. Let's step our left leg up, turning both of our feet towards the long edge of our mat, coming into a forward fold with wide legs. Again, bending the knees. If you need to shift side to side, you can do that for a second. But eventually, finding the place of stillness and holding for a breath. Now let's engage our shoulders here. So let's clasp our hands behind our back. And then again, sinking our chest, allowing the hands to come away from the booty, overhead. They may not go far, they may go really far. Don't worry about it, it's okay either way. Just again, getting a little stretch across the front side of the body, the front side of the shoulder blades. On an exhale, release your grip. Bring the hands back towards the floor. Again, taking another breath in your wide-legged forward fold. And then we're going to walk our hands under our chest, heel toe, our way in. Again, feet can be a little wider than the hips, and you can sink the booty down with the heels on the ground, or you can step the feet in closer, lifting the heels off the ground, whatever feels comfortable for you. Wherever you're at though, grow tall in your spine, no rounding, no little gargoyle action. Keep the collarbones as broad as they're gonna go. Use your elbows as a little counterweight for your knees. Taking some breaths here. And then again, releasing your effort, bringing your hands in front, and then slowly and back, coming to an easy seated pose. Notice what leg you have in front. We're going to switch in a minute, but we're going to do just a couple of shoulder exercises first. So on an inhale, let's bring our arms up nice and long. Exhale, right arm under, left arm over, eagle arms, lifting the elbows up, pulling the hands away from our face, getting a nice stretch again across the back side of the shoulders. Taking a couple deep breaths here. Turn a little bit so you can see me. And release your effort on an exhale. Fly your wings and switch sides. Left arm under, right arm on top. Again, lift the elbows up, pull the hands away from the face, and breathe. On your next exhale, release your hands. Let's bring them back behind us, coming into a boat. Woo! Holding here for just a breath. You need to bob your ankles. Sometimes that feels good. Helps take the focus off of the abs for a second. And then switch the cross of your legs, coming down the other way. We're now going to come into cow-faced arms, sitting here. So on an inhale, let's bring our right arm up overhead, tucking the hand, bringing it back behind. You can use your left arm as a little counterbalance to bring that right elbow up a little bit more. One thing you don't want to do here is tuck your chin. Push back like we did with the blanket, the back of your head into the back of that arm. That may move the arm out a little bit. That's okay. Keep it there. If this feels good, stay here. If you need a little more, you can bring that left arm down around, back behind, reaching your hands together. If they can interlace, even if it's just fingers, that's great. You can interlace them, or you can just reach for them. They don't have to touch. Again, we like to drop our head here. Pull it back. Don't let it drop. And same with the belly. We like to stick at our ribs, so pull the belly in, engage it a little bit, make sure we're nice and strong in our core. And then breathe. All right, release your grip on an exhale, maybe shake it out, and then switch sides, bringing the left arm up, dropping the hand back, sitting up nice and tall, pushing our head back into that arm. And then again, stay here if that's comfortable, or bring your right arm back and around, reaching for the left fingers. Whether or not you touch, that's okay. Push your head back, engage the belly down. Beautiful. Taking a couple deep breaths here. On your next exhale, release, shake it out. Let's find ourselves in the middle of our mats. We're going to come down via boat. So we're going to come back into boat, and then this time we're going to lower nice and slowly through canoe down into boat. Have your blankie nearby if you need to sit back up for that, that's okay, and then lower back down. All right, let's come into bridge pose, bending our knees, walking our heels in close to our bum, tucking the shoulders under, pressing our head nice and firmly back into the mat, and then again, lifting the hips up, taking a couple of breaths here. When you're ready to come down, lowering slowly on an exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bringing our arms out to a T. And then again, dropping the knees to one side. Getting a little twist here. Taking a couple deep breaths. On your exhales, maybe you feel the opposite shoulder just settling down a little bit towards the ground. On an inhale, coming back up. Exhale, switch to the other side. And then inhaling back up to center, dropping our knees wide, reaching for our calves, ankles, or outside of our feet. Happy baby. Rock and roll a little bit if that feels good. But eventually find your way back towards center, giving those feet, giving those legs a nice little tug down, and then releasing your efforts. We're going to grab our blanket, so you might have to unfold it a little bit from our little project before, but we're going to use this as a roll. So just rolling it up, kind of grab a small blanket. So again, whatever size roll feels good to you, and then we're going to put it down horizontal across our mat. And then we're going to lean back over it. It's going to fall right about the bra line for ladies, right under the shoulder blades for guys, whatever terminology is more comfortable for you. And we're going to end our Shavasana just like this, end our practice just like this. A little extra opening in our chest, in our ribs. If you need, you can always fold up the blanket a little bit more, or if you have a nice long bolster, you can use that as well. Just depending on what feels good for you. And then take some deep breaths, lying here, getting a little extra stretch, and relaxing. Noticing the ground below you. Noticing the points of contact your body's making with the ground. And breathing. Deepen your breath. Filling your belly as much as it will with air. And exhaling it out nice and slowly. Bringing movement back, wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe circling your wrists and ankles. Maybe reaching your arms long for a nice overhead stretch. And then again, release your efforts. Grounding back. When you're ready, roll off to your right side, removing your prop, laying here for just a couple of breaths. When you're ready, pushing yourself up towards an easy seated pose. Growing tall in your spine, rooting down through your sits bones. On an inhale, bring your hands to heart center, grow tall. Exhale, bow forward, saying namaste. Thank you all for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you enjoyed this practice. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and we'll get right back to you. Thanks again. Bye-bye.